Hey, I'm Megan, and I'm talking a little bit about Zoom or video interviews today. So let me share my screen. The first thing that you want to make sure to do is have good eye contact. The other thing that you want to make sure to do is have good posture. So one of my tricks is that I actually have a pillow behind my chair to make sure I'm sitting up straight. So that might be helpful for some people. Make sure to smile, but a normal amount. Try not to fidget too much. So if you have a swivel chair, like I do, try to avoid doing this. You want to make sure to think about the best way to present yourself. So I'm in the room right now that I'm in for meetings and things like that, but I probably wouldn't be in here for an interview because the lighting isn't ideal. There's a lot of light on my face, and I have that window back behind me that kind of puts out some bright natural light. So think about the camera angle, the lighting, and the background. I have my camera angled like this right now because if I angle it down, there's a bed behind me, and that's not something that is ideal for an interview. So I'm going to angle it right there, and that's a little bit more professional. So think about things like that you can do to adjust what's in your background. If you need to, you can also set a professional background using the green screen on Zoom. Mine doesn't work that well, but that's an option. If you have a background that you don't feel as comfortable showing, you could find a professional background like an office setting or something like that and set that as your background. Or maybe your college campus or the logo for your school or something like that you could set as your background that would be professional. You don't want to put Tiger King as your background if you're doing a Zoom interview. The other thing that you'll want to check into is your internet bandwidth, your technical camera settings, and things of that nature to make sure that you're properly prepared for the interview. So if you're in Zoom and you scroll down to the bottom where it says, it shows your video, and you click on the little up arrow, you can click on video settings. So I'm actually looking at it right now. And from my video settings, there's a button that you can check that says enable HD. And that presents a much clearer picture. So I would recommend enabling HD. You can also click a button that says touch up my appearance. I wonder what the difference is there. I just unchecked it. So touch up my appearance. Oh, it looks like it kind of blurs your face a little bit. So that's interesting. You can also test your video before you start to make sure that the bandwidth is working. Call a friend and see if they would be willing to talk to you just to make sure that you have everything prepared.
Okay, so I'm checking out a couple of different areas that I could use for a Zoom interview. One thing that I'll note is that I do have a dog, so I'm going to shut her outside so she can't bark during my interview.
All right, so here's a good spot for a Zoom interview. Blank background, professional image in the back that's not too distracting, white walls, good natural lighting. Those are all things that would be helpful in a Zoom interview. I know it can be distracting having yourself on screen, so one of the options, if you need to, you'll just have to make sure you don't fidget too much without having yourself on screen, but you can minimize your own view on Zoom. So you can right-click on your image and click hide image if you want to do that. You'll have to make sure you're not touching your hair too much. All right, you should be good to go. Make sure to check out Big Interview and the CCPD's YouTube page for more tips and tricks on things that you can be doing in an interview. Good luck.
You want to come back in now? My interview's over, Bailey.